I was feeling very unsure, very, very scared, very worried at the time. I also wanted to feel safe in my own home, and I wanted to have control as to who was coming in and who wasn't. And I didn't really want two burly 6 foot plus police officers in full body armour and a police car outside my house, because I am quite a private person and I was feeling very traumatised at the time, and it helped that I didn't have to have that presence in my home apart from on a video screen.
Responding to the public is one of the key priorities for policing. And doing that in a prompt and effective way is the thing that matters to our communities. So one of the things with EVR is it gave us the opportunity to explore different ways of responding to the public that suited that member of the public at that time in their circumstances.
Our previous peel inspection has highlighted that we needed to do better responding to the public, and we also needed to improve our investigation standards, and there was a real opportunity to use technology and try and improve that.
The number of incidents awaiting attendance, particularly non-immediate graded incidents, has been a perpetual challenge for our force, and from speaking to other forces, it's a challenge that they all seem to be facing. You've got an effective control room that's answering calls quickly, creating incident logs that traditional policing processes would wait for an officer to be able to physically attend. And when you started to add in travel time and all the other policing pressures, we were having that real bottleneck.
We set up EVR because we wanted to give victims of crime another option about how they engage with their local police. I was really fortunate that I was doing some study at the time, and through that process I saw the great work that had been done under rapid video response, which is essentially a virtual response to domestic abuse cases. And I saw it as a real opportunity to expand on that research.
We conduct video consultations with victims of crime. We would send them a link to a system called Good Sam. That can be done via a text message, so they can do it on their mobile phone, or we can send it to them on an email. We would then have a full discussion. They would give us the circumstances of what it is they're reporting. They can send us documents. They can send us any exhibits that they might need to send us. It's a very flexible process. So if they need a little moment away, we can do that. If they need to leave the consultation and rejoin, they can do that.
We tend to get called when something bad has happened. And if somebody's home is their safe space, to then have to invite one or two strangers in who are, often dressed in body armour, carrying taser, baton and handcuffs, it's quite traumatic for people, and it makes it very difficult to speak. Whereas if you're sat in the privacy of your own home and you're talking face to face with a police officer on a video call, it's that much easier to engage.
What we found is that 9 out of 10 victims would use EVR again, or would recommend it to a family or friend. The number of victims that withdrew their support for a prosecution or police involvement, engagement, halved, but also the positive outcome rate, which is offenders being brought to justice, was 75% higher in our virtual cases to our business as usual attendance cases.
For me, it's some of the qualitative benefits, not just the fact it's faster, we're bringing more offenders to justice. It's how it's making victims feel as part of that experience. And it is response policing. It's the same as having an officer turn up to your house in the way that they deal with you, but you have made a choice to do that virtually rather than physically.
EVRs had a really significant impact for our control room and our response teams in particular. We're looking at approximately a 25% reduction in demand going to our response teams, and that 25% reduction into response is a result of about 5% of our response officers working in EVR, and that has a knock-on effect to the ability for those response officers to do more thorough investigations, to be more proactive, to be more visible in their communities and provide that visible policing service we all want them to do.
Policing nationally has got a lot of officers who are what we call non-deployable. So they are still police officers, but for a variety of reasons they can't go out and about and be operational on the front line. So this was a real opportunity to actually form them into a team, to give them a job where they can do the whole job.
I came into it because of a restriction, but actually it's been, for me, one of the most positive things I've done as a police officer. I'm getting to more people. We're getting to more victims. We're being able to deal with them whilst they're going through the throes of whatever it is that's happening, while it's still fresh with them, and to be able to get to them at that time and provide them that reassurance and actually know that somebody's taking them seriously, somebody is there to listen to them and to help them.
I think EVR will completely change how frontline policing is done. Your digital response capability in a few years will be that new function that's just everywhere. Everyone has it, and it's a standard part of policing, because it's something that's got such clear benefits for the public and for the police, particularly at times where demand is a challenge and our resources are stretched. I can't see that we wouldn't just see it as a new cornerstone of policing based on technology.
What we've done with this is work with College of Policing and NPCC to have a systematic way of being able to roll that out and support other forces. And having spoken to the Chief Officer team in one of our neighbouring forces in the southwest, they are seeing a significant impact in terms of the demand and the workload of their officers, but also how willing the public are to take on board this new way of responding to their needs and their concerns.
It is so much easier than turning up at a police station or have someone turning up at your home. I couldn't praise it highly enough because it made a difference to me, and I'm sure it will make a difference to anybody else.